Hello everyone, welcome to this week's video from the Purple Penny. My name's Mark. I own and run the Purple Penny along with my wife Catherine. We're a coin and banknote dealer in the northern suburbs of Adelaide, which is the capital of South Australia. Been here for about 5 years and been doing these videos for most of that time. Try to have them at about 12 o'clock on Mondays, and life allowing of course. And every week we try to have a topic of the day. Today being the last Friday of the month is our question and answer day, but we don't really have any questions today. We've only got one question that I'll answer when we get to that part of the video. If anyone who's watching live has any questions, please feel free to pop those questions in the comments when we get up to the Q&A section of the video, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Right, so if we think about last week here in the shop was quite busy. We had a very busy day on Thursday. There was no mint releases last week. We are Royal Australian Mint distributors, so once every couple of weeks we do release some new products for the Australian Mint. We get a small allocation of those. There is a new mint release due out this Thursday, and there was another one announced for the first week in September, which is the annual Christmas coins, which the Mint has been releasing for the last few years. Allocations unfortunately are very small for those, so when we get to that we'll just cover off on how we're going to deal with those. First bit of news for the day is the Adelaide Coin Expo. Just about 5 or 6 weeks to go till the Adelaide Coin Expo. It's on Saturday and Sunday, October 5th and 6th at the Torrens Parade Grounds. There's a gold coin donation for entry, and parking on the parade grounds is $10 cash. There is parking sort of within 5 or 10 minutes walk away that's free, or you can park along Victoria Drive. If you get there early on Saturday you should get a park, and on Sunday you should probably get a park for most of the day along Victoria Drive, but that is pay parking as well. The next item on the news is the new RAM releases. Of course, we've got the Charles III rolls, the Charles III rolls due out on Thursday, and the 10 cent, 20 cent, 50 cent and dollar rolls are being released. Of course, the 5 cent and $2 rolls were already released. You'll probably find most dealers have a very small number of the premium rolls and a lot of the non-premium rolls. We have a very limited number of premium rolls. If you are an in-store customer and you do want the premium rolls, then give us a call and we'll see if we've got some available. We won't be mailing them out, and we will not have any of the non-premium rolls. The other release that's due out on the 5th of September, which is the first Thursday of the month, is the Christmas coin. So they've released these for the last few years. They call them the Christmas Festive Floral Coins. As usual, there's a coloured copper nickel 50 cent in coloured card with 5 different colours available, all the same coin, and a 50 cent fine silver proof there. So this year the carded coins are $17.50. The price has gone up, I think, $5 on those, and the coloured silver proof is $135. We got a laughably small allocation of those coins, so there will not be any available on our website on release day, unfortunately. If you are an in-store customer, then please let us know if you're after any of those coins, and we'll do our best to keep our regular in-store customers happy with those, but it is a very small number. Right, next item in the news, so I'll just show you the news here. So we're going to be talking about, I like talking about metal detecting finds. There will be a story about an Australian metal detecting find, which is interesting. We don't get many Australian metal detecting finds. There's been another development in the Bluey coin theft. Of course, there were Bluey coins stolen from a secure facility in Sydney in July, dollar coins that are related to the Australia Post Bluey coin tube and folder release for next month. Then we're also going to talk about a $200 coin, which the mainstream media has hyped up with the usual rare coin BS that they go on with, and then we'll have a couple more interesting coins about stories about other coins in the news. So let's just jump into the Tasmanian coin find here. A metal detectorist in Tasmania detected a bronze coin or a copper coin from 1754, and you can see there that it's got VOC on it. And VOC, if you've been around coins for a little while, you'd know is the Dutch East India Company. The Dutch East India Company was a trading company founded by the Dutch government in about 1600, and was mainly set up for the exploitation of holdings in Asia, and certainly we would know it as Indonesia. That's where the Dutch East India Company was strongest here in this part of the world. And this copper coin that was found in Tasmania is called a duat, and a duat is about equivalent to a farthing. So it's 3.8 grams. There was 4 duats per stoiver. A stoiver is a Dutch silver coin that's about the size of a 5-cent piece, but considerably lighter. And there's 20 stoivers per gulden, and a gulden is a silver coin about the same size as a florin. And if you're wondering what that comes out to, in colonial times a duat was valued at the same as a florin, and so that makes one of these duats equivalent to about a farthing. So thank you to Antonius saying that duat is the Indonesian word for money. Thank you for that. So this is a colonial coin. They typically come from Indonesia and places around there. They're not very valuable. That coin there is worth less than $5 in uncirculated condition, maybe worth $50 to $100. How did it get to Tasmania? Well, it was almost certainly bought there by a sailor or a merchant who had either come from the Dutch East Indies or travelled through the Dutch East Indies. Were they traded in Tasmania? Well, we don't really know. You would imagine that they would have had some sort of local value, but they weren't specifically mentioned in the proclamation coin declaration by the governor or anything like that, but you'd imagine they would have had some local value. So a really interesting find there by a metal detectorist in Tasmania, so congratulations to that person. We'll just say a few hellos before we go on any further. Hello Charles, hello Peter, hello Greg, hello John, hello Wendy, hello Michelle, hello David, hello Patrick, hello Philip, hello Antonius, JJ, Wendy, Jay, Ray, another Peter, Alistair, PCE Supercore, Alistair, right, and Brett, Ronalyn, Gwen, Peter, and Aaron. So thank you everyone for joining in today. So I won't tell you what I've got this slide labelled over here, because I think you can get taken off of Facebook for foul language, but let's just clap the mainstream media on the back for pursuing their rare coin crap that they go on and on about. So they have stolen a video off of TikTok with some jeweller in Melbourne who accepted a $200 gold coin in exchange for some jewellery, and it was all crapping on about rare coins and rare this and rare that. Now, if you've been around Australian coins for any amount of time, you know that $200 coins are not rare, and in fact most of the $200 coins have no value above the gold value that they have. So this woman was given $1,000 discount on some jewellery that they bought in the store. Now let's just ignore the fact that when you're giving discount on items, when you're trading in items for discount, you're actually making less money than, well, the store is making more money out of it because they're trading $1,000 in retail value. You are better off getting paid in cash a lot of the time rather than taking it in store credit, and if you are going to ask for store credit, you should ask for a bit more than the cash. It is not rare, as all the mainstream media outlets crapped on about. There's a 1983 $200 koala coin. There's 10 grams of 22 karat gold in it. 0.2947 of an ounce of gold, which today was $1,091 in bullion value. There were 88,000 1983 koalas minted, and $200 coins were minted from 1980 to 1994. The lowest mintage coins had about 4,000 minted, and they were just minted in the last couple of years. And even those with just a mintage of 4,000 barely get any premium above the gold value. So $200 coins aren't rare. They're worth the gold that's in them. And a lot of the time, dealers like us even struggle to sell them for the gold value because there is so little interest in those coins. Next item on the menu is a metal detectorist with a difference in the UK. So a gentleman who was interested in archaeology as a young person and became a qualified archaeologist thanks to his love of the Indiana Jones movies. And as part of being an archaeologist, he's also a hobby metal detectorist. And being an archaeologist, he knows a bit more than the rest of us. And he actually saw some crop marks in a newly harvested barley field. Now, I'm not sure how he saw those, because generally you need to see those from the sky. Maybe he climbed a tree or a ladder or something. What's a crop mark? A crop mark is a difference in perhaps the density of the vegetation in a field or the colour of a vegetation. And it's caused by differences in the soil structure under the crop that's in the field, and that could be because of buildings being under there, or a road, or excavations, or something like that. So he decided to metal detect this field that had these crop marks in it, and went on to find 748 coins in that particular field. Ah, yeah, thank you. Maybe he used a drone. Yeah, that's probably how he did it. So he found 748 coins. They were a mix of Iron Age, Roman Republican and Roman Imperial coins, dated from 206 BC to 47 AD. Now, of those 748 coins, various museums around the UK have claimed some of them, which leave the gentleman to auction off the remaining 650 odd coins, and they're expected to fetch about £75,000. And he will split those proceeds with the owner of the field that he metal detected. And if you do happen to read this story, it is interesting because this gentleman was an archaeologist. He handled the whole process completely professionally, including having people looking after the site overnight while he called local archaeological authorities to get them in and help him excavate the rest of the site. So a really fantastic find there. The find was 5 years ago, so it's taken 5 years for these coins to go through the legal processes before anyone can get their hands on them. Now, someone did mention this earlier. This is the Jeweled Turtle 2024 proof coin that the Perth Mint has just announced the release of. So they've released about 7 or 8 of these jewelled coins, the Perth Mint. They are made to order, which means that you have to pony up the cash for them before they'll actually make one and issue it to you. Contains 10 ounces of fine gold, which today is about $37,000 worth of gold, and it also includes 2.2 carats of hand set white and pink diamonds. And I didn't actually write the price there. $290,000 if you want one of these. Thank you very much. Just $290,000. The Perth Mint has released a few of these diamond coins. They've done 7 in this series, and there were some other ones that had pink diamonds in them that they released in the 2010s. I did actually have someone bring some in here one day. He brought in 4 or 5 of them, and they were quite remarkable. And we didn't buy them because we don't have the customers for them, and we didn't have the money for them either. Pretty amazing coin there, released by the Perth Mint. So if you've got $290,000 down the back of the couch and you're looking for someone to spend it, contact the Perth Mint and they'll fix you up. Another interesting story here about the Royal Mint in the UK. The Royal Mint in the UK has abandoned, basically, 260 million 1p and 2p coins that are sitting in various warehouses around the UK. And if you do the maths on 260 million, I think there's about 110 million 1p's and the balance of them are 2p's. That's more than 1,400 tonnes of coins that are sitting in storage. The 1p and 2p coins are bronze with a steel core, and I guess that's going to add difficulties to recycling these coins. And the Mint hasn't been recycling bronze coins like this for more than 10 years. They shut down their base metal recycling facilities more than a decade ago, and they've been accumulating these coins ever since. There is calls in the UK all the time to scrap the 1p and 2p coins, and of course the people who are scaremongering are suggesting that that's going to cause inflation because merchants will round the prices up to the nearest 5p, which is of course exactly the same as what some people suggested when we got rid of our 1 and 2 cent coins. And of course there was no change, and the UK only needs to look at the Australian example to understand there will be no change to get rid of their 1p and 2p coins. And this is despite the fact that the Mint still makes 1 and 2p coins, and their research indicates that most of the 1 and 2p coins are used only once before they're banked or put into money boxes or literally thrown away. So if ever a government has a way of saving coins, saving money, it's getting rid of the 1 and 2p coins and scrapping whatever they've got left to scrap, and just biting the bullet and moving on with the British public's lives. Now, I just wanted to share this with you before we go on to the question and answer. This is just some reminders about what Catherine and I do here in the shop. We do buy all sorts of things over the counter here, and we make no apologies for the fact that we buy and sell to make a profit. And most people seem to understand that. So we do buy items over the counter. We don't buy everything that we're offered over the counter, and we are under no obligation to buy everything that comes in over the counter. And I'm not sure why some people seem to think that we are obligated to buy everything. We don't buy unsaleable items. We don't buy items that are soiled or damaged or unsaleable, you know. So what does that mean? It means that if you bring in a Woolworths $2 folder and it's got $10 in face value in it, and you have chosen to eat your lunch on that folder and it's covered with food stains and things like that, we won't buy it because we can't sell those products. So the people who don't look after their coins, and I've spoken about this before, that if you are going to collect modern Mint product, then one surefire way of helping to maintain the resale value of it is to store it properly, to look after it, to not allow it to become damaged, to not allow it to become stained or damp, or eat with it, or whatever you do with it. That's one way of helping to maintain the resale value of those items. So we don't have to buy things that are brought in here, and we won't buy things that are damaged and unsaleable. We don't buy pocket change. We don't buy 50-cent pieces and 20-cent pieces and dollar coins and 5-cent pieces. We don't buy it. We can find all those coins in change, the same as what people who bring them in here can. And we don't agree with what videos and various articles online say about the values of those items. We just don't agree with it, and we are not obligated to buy it, and we won't buy it. Now, that being said, when people bring that stuff in here, we will look at it with you. We're not going to turn our nose up at it. We will look at it with you, and we'll explain to you what it is that we're looking at, and we'll tell you about mintages and things like that. And often, we'll explain that those coins that you're trying to sell to us, we just give them out in change. So we don't buy pocket change. We just don't do it. Now, when people come in here, we want to work with them. So what does that mean? It means that we try to pay the best prices that we can for things when they come in here. Again, we make no apologies for the fact that we need to make a profit, but we like to be able to work with people when they come in here. If a product is hot and it's easy to sell, then we will pay more for it and share that with the person who's bringing the items in here. The flip side of that is that we expect people to work with us as well. If someone is a reseller of items and they won't work with us when they're trying to sell stuff to us, stock that they can't sell, then we're not really interested in working with them. As I said, we always will look at what's brought in and shown to us. We'll always give people time. We'll always try to teach those people something that have brought that stuff into us. and we always strive to be polite, and we always expect people to be polite to us. We're not a cash machine. We're not there to provide cash when people decide that they want to get rid of their old stock or whatever. And we just want people to be polite with us, and we will be polite to them, and we want to work with people. We want to work with you. Right, let's get on to the question and answers. So we had a question about PCGS grading of valuable coins, specifically referring to 1930 pennies and 1923 half pennies. And the question was, if you buy a valuable coin, such as a 1923 half penny or a 1930 penny, and it is sold at a particular grade by a dealer, should you immediately get it regraded by PCGS? Should you immediately get it regraded by PCGS? Now, the answer to that, like most questions, is it depends. If you are looking to hold on to a coin long term, and you want to be assured of its authenticity and grade, and you believe that the investment in getting a coin graded is worthwhile, then yes, you should get it graded, because at least that way you've got assurance of its authenticity, hopefully assurance of its grade, and it is going to be mechanically protected in a PCGS holder. But there is a real cost involved with that. A 1923 halfpenny could be more than $100 to get it graded. A 1930 penny could be several $100s to get it graded. So there is a cost involved with that. That being said, here in the shop, we get very few 1923 halfpennies graded. Just the really good ones are the ones that we do. As far as 1930 pennies, we've had every 1930 penny that's come in here graded, all one of them. So someone just asked about that particular coin there. We did get that graded, and that was really just for authenticity reasons, just to ensure that it was, just to provide people with the assurance that it was authentic. We knew it was authentic, and to settle on a grade for it. With a 1930 penny, at least differences in grades of just half a grade can make a huge difference in the price. So that's why we got that graded. And where is it? It's still here. So we haven't done anything with that. It's still here. Now the other question was from the same gentleman, was about insurance. Now, as you know, Australia Post doesn't insure things that are in the mail, only up to a certain value. So what does that mean? It means that if you are going to get a coin graded, then if you're getting it graded yourself, once it's in the mail, it's not covered. I'm not sure if you're dealing directly with PCGS, if they insure a coin when it comes back to you. And similarly, if you deal with a PCGS authorised dealer such as Drake Sterling, I'm not sure how their insurance works either. You can pay extra with Drake Sterling for insurance, but whether that's covered from you to them, I don't know. That's a question for Eric at Drake Sterling. Now, the last question that Alan asked me about this was, is there a physical location that you can drop these coins off? Well, you probably can drop them off to Drake Sterling directly in Sydney, similar with Imperial Coins in Queensland, Cockatoo Coins, I think they're in New South Wales. You can drop them off directly to them. There is nowhere here in Adelaide where you can drop them off directly. We don't do it for other people. So I hope that answers all of your questions there, Alan, and thank you for taking the time to ask the questions. Right. Now, there were a few questions up here that people asked, so and I do apologise if I've missed them, because Facebook has scrolled all the messages off the top. So if you have asked a question and I miss it, I do apologise. Feel free to ask it again. So I'm just scrolling through the comments here. Mark Lewis, thanks Mark for your kind words there. Do we buy coloured Aussie coin hunt coins? Yes, we'll buy those because they do have a numismatic premium. We won't buy loose coin hunt coins, the non-coloured ones, unless they're still in mint bags. $2 coins, for example, we'll buy purple coronations and red poppies from 2012, but we won't buy any other loose ones, but we will buy them if they're in rolls or bags. So thank you for that question. JJ, I've answered that. How are the PCGS grading turnaround times at the moment? I have no idea. We haven't done a submission for a while, so I have no idea where they're at. You can jump onto the PCGS website, and they do have estimated turnaround times there for different submission types, but how realistic they are, I don't know. Peter says he had his 1930 penny couriered by people I trust to and from Sydney, and Eric sent it by DHL to California. So Peter, was it covered by insurance through all of that process? Again, I don't know. Glenn says, have always wondered about the painting process and how it's performed on coinage. Have you an insight to this? Well, I believe that I know that the process for circulating coloured coins and the NCLT coloured coins is quite different. The NCLT coloured coins that you typically see are pad printed, which is a process for painting flat surfaces and curved surfaces, and that paint is not durable and can be scratched off with your fingernail. The process for circulating coins is quite different. There is a patent available online that you can read that the Canadian Mint put out about how the process works. Now, I don't know if the paint is enamel or it's some sort of baking process or some sort of two-part paint that sets or something like that. I don't know, but I know that it is different to that is used on non-circulating coloured coins. I know that it's different. It is much more durable. Now, if anyone else has got any questions that's asked them earlier in the video, please pop them in the comments now, because Facebook has scrolled those comments off the top of the post and I can no longer see them. So if I've missed out on your question, I do apologise. I guess if you're wondering about a bit of context about that reminders thing, it's we just had a bad experience last week with someone who brought in some soil mint product and was decidedly unpleasant when we declined to purchase it. And we had a bad experience with someone who brought in some watercoloured paintings and became aggressive and quite upset when we declined purchasing of them, because I don't know anything about watercoloured paintings. So that again comes back to the fact we're not obligated to buy what we're offered, and we're not a cash machine that where you get to make a withdrawal when you've got something you want to get rid of. So and in both cases there was a lack of respect from the person on the other side of the counter, and Catherine and I, we do our level best to be happy with everyone. Right, I think that'll do today. Thank you everyone for watching, and if you have any questions and things like that, please save them for the video next month or send me an email so I can put them aside. Oh, okay. Wendy, what was the most interesting item that's come into your shop and got you really excited, and what was it? Was there history behind it? What a great question. I don't know. Some of the military stuff comes in is fantastic because there's a great history behind it. But that's not necessarily everyone's cup of tea. Something that always springs to my mind is an accumulation of early Australian pre-decimal coins from the 1910s, and they were just in a box with some badges and medals and things like that. But there were two paper envelopes in that stuff, and handwritten on it was, and I've still got the envelopes, handwritten on it was stone taken from the top of the Khufu pyramid, August 1909, and then a date. And the paper bag was empty, the writing was in fountain pen, and it was clearly that old. So at some point someone has climbed the Great Pyramid in Egypt in 1909, and climbed to the top and found a small stone and brought it down, and they've put it in an envelope. And so at some point the envelope has become separated from the stone, and we have the envelope but we don't have the stone. The person that we bought it off of seems to think that the stones are somewhere, and he promised he'd bring them in if he ever found them, but we've never seen them again, which is a great shame. And I would love one day for that gentleman to bring those stones in here, but how would we know if it's a stone from a pyramid or if it's just a stone? And of course these days you cannot climb the pyramids and you cannot take stones off of them, and I think that it's a historic reminder of a more naive time where people didn't necessarily respect the age of these things. But I would love for those stones to come here and be reunited with those paper envelopes. What are they worth? Nothing. They're worth nothing, but they are something that will stay in my mind forever because it was just such a remarkable thing. Right, that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to Peter, who shared some graphs with me this morning. I'll share those with you next week. Thank you everyone for your questions. Stay well, stay happy, enjoy collecting, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.